The 75th anniversary of the NATO summit is underway right now in Washington, D.C. I am here at the International Media Center at the Washington Convention Center where the event has been underway. This anniversary is very, very significant because 75 years ago, 12 leaders from Europe and the US gathered at the Andrew Mellon Auditorium to sign the original treaty of the NATO Alliance. And this year, the Alliance is doing something very significant to reach out to more audience, more of the global audience. And they have invited social media content creators to reach out to more of the global audience. I had a chance to speak with three of the social influencers, as they are known, and ask them about how the message that they are getting out to their audience and their own takeaway of participating or attending in this event. This is what they have to say. So you guys are, excuse me, see, I'm already losing my voice in the morning. You guys are part of the content creator that are covering this event. Talk about why this is important and the message that you are getting out to your audience.
I think it kind of goes down to 101, right? What is NATO? Why does it matter? Why? And of course the historical thing of being, its 75th birthday in DC, that's a big event as well. But I think just the who, what, when, where, why, those kinds of questions that unfortunately the youth aren't as familiar with, from my perspective.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. Our youth aren't as engaged with what NATO stands for and why it's important. So a lot of us have younger audiences. Myself, I'm mostly like 16 to 24, so university students type of age level, and they're not well informed about this, and I think it's important with the current political climate and also just with other threats like climate change for you to be more engaged with NATO, and that's what we're trying to translate to them.
And for me, it's just a great opportunity to try to ask some deep questions about NATO, maybe some tricky questions on what's the paper of the US inside the Alliance, why is it so important or not that important, and to try to, in the end, understand the phenomenon behind this organization and its importance to the world and to the Western world particularly.
And what country are you from?
Spain.
You are from Spain?
I'm from Canada.
You are from Canada?
And the US.
And the US. So we can see like how you are all representing members of NATO. So far, today is the main day. What in your view, what is that takeaway that you have seen that your audience needs to know about? You've talked about explaining what NATO is today, but given what is going on, we see what is going on in Ukraine, what is going on in the Middle East, and in the US. We are also in an election year. We see that also in Europe. Why is this event important?
It's a heavy question. I think so far what we've seen in the event, and maybe some of the concerns that maybe some Americans had or even around the world, is how strong is the alliance. And I think what we're seeing is that it's very strong, and it's become stronger despite differences, despite challenges. That's the sense that I've come away with, even though it just started, right? It's still early in the day.
Yeah.
I've only seen one speaker, but that's what I've walked away with.
Yeah. We gotta get going.
Okay, I will work with you guys while you answer that question.
Also, for me, from the informative point of view, I guess that strategically the important thing is that this summit will try to show how the US is committed to support Ukraine, and that is strategically important. Well, not just the US, but the whole alliance. And, that's a message that maybe was not deliberate to Putin, so he was trying to outlast the alliance and its members. And the second thought, from my point of view, it's how the US is trying to move its partners close together in Europe and Asia, and that's a very important strategic move. However, I'm wondering how they want to materialize it apart from telling about it.
Okay. And your audience, what will you like them, how involved will you like them to be? And also your message to the adults currently in power.
You know, I think from the audience perspective, from at least a young audience, I've received a lot of comments of people asking, like, how do I learn about this stuff when I'm in high school? And so I told them, you know, join Model UN. NATO has a youth summit that does scholarships and invites people to, you know, events like this. And I think there's a lot of educational career opportunities and resume building opportunities. Get an internship at the State Department. These were things that I didn't know when I was in high school. I just learned about these opportunities a few months ago. I'm not a NATO nerd. I'm just learning along with my audience. And so, but you know, they're good opportunities, and it's hard now to get these careers. So I've kind of told them, like, if you're interested, go see what's out there in your area.
So essentially, like the current people that are managing this, they need to do more effort in engaging the youth and getting the message out.
As a TikToker or Instagrammer, whatever, I will say there's a lot of red tape of making videos online. They don't have as much fun, and I get it. They have to be strategic, they have to be diplomatic, they're institutions, but it's not gonna go viral if you're not having fun. So that's how you get the word out, right?
Yeah.
But that's where we come in, because we can have fun. We don't have the red tape. We don't have big organizations or legal teams saying, you know, you can't do this and that, you can't dance. It's not just dancing, obviously.
And you?
Well, my audience is on average 45 years old, so it's not about youth. And maybe it allows me to deliver more serious or more, you know what I mean, institutional message. But in the end, what I like is that it allows me to maybe deepen more into the subjects that I touch, and it allows me maybe to ask that audience to be, you know, a critical thinker and not just trust what I tell them, but, you know, they have Google, they can search the stuff, and that's what I like about it.
Okay, your final message regarding to NATO, to the leaders, and to the world.
I think they're actually doing a pretty good job of engaging the youth now. I think even them inviting us, it means a lot. I mean, they're reaching people that have no idea what NATO is. Somebody asked me yesterday if NATO was a country. Like, these people need to know what they're affected by these decisions. And, you know, of course you could always go the traditional routes of the politicians and all of that, and that definitely reaches a certain part of the population. But, you know, most of us are just scrolling. And so I think they're doing a good job so far. I mean, you can always do better, always invite more, but I think they're doing a good job personally.
Yeah, I would tell that, you know, how is this Maslow pyramid? One that prioritizes different stuff for the human being. You know, the second one after you get food and some clothes is security. So that's why it is important to keep up with information regarding security, and there to know how it's happening and what is happening with NATO is absolutely key. So stay tuned, I guess.
Okay. I just asked them, what is your final message to the leaders and the world about why engaging not just the youth or the public is important?
I think, well, for specifically the youth, that's our next generation. I feel like that's obvious. But also for the public, these are the people who are going to be most affected by the decisions. There are voices that definitely should be heard and need to be heard, and different perspectives that can be considered when approaching world issues. And I think having a more holistic view and incorporating those views can be helpful. So I think
that's a good point. Actually, we're inheriting this, right?
Absolutely.
This is, and we don't know what it is. That's a problem.
No, yeah, a lot of people have absolutely no clue what NATO stands for. Quite literally, the acronym they don't know versus also their ideals. So I think it's a really great opportunity to engage not only youth but also just the public that doesn't know what's going on.
Okay, thank you. I forgot, like, your name and your platform.
My name's Amanda Round like a circle, and I'm on both Instagram and TikTok.
Kathy Pedraez, Kathy with a C, Pedraez with a P, on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
And I am Yago Rodríguez y estoy en YouTube fundamentalmente, en Cosas Militares, que se llama el canal.
Okay, thank you. You are all representing members of NATO, and thank you for talking with me.
Of course.
Thank you.